Friends, Rotarians, guests, and those joining us today from Zoom, welcome to the September 23rd meeting of the Rotary Club of Louisville. I am Jean West, owner, producer, Basis West Productions, and president of the club. We are so excited to be kicking off our Steamboat weekend celebration. The gods have shined on us with the weather. Yes, indeed. We have so much in store for you. To provide our invocation is Ken Grossman, our own Rotary Vice President and owner of the Executive Image Custom Clothier.
Thank you, Jean. Please join me in prayer. As we gather here today as members of the Rotary Club of Louisville, we pray that we are ever mindful of opportunities to render our service to fellow citizens and to our community, keeping in mind always the enduring values of life, exerting our efforts in those areas and on those things upon which future generations can build with confidence. Let us continue to strive to make a better world. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Ken. And to lead us in the four-way pledge, in the pledge and the four-way test is Casey Meyer, President and CEO of Waterfront Botanical Gardens, and on 1,000 committees.
You scared me. You said the four-way pledge. I thought, oh, not me. I don't know what that is. All right, so please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
Thank you, Casey. Rotarians, you may be seated. Rotarians, please take this time to welcome our guests. Introduce yourself, the mic, and please introduce your guests. And guests, please stand to be recognized when your name is called. And before we introduce our guests, I want to honor our district governor, Gail Story. Gail Story, who is here visiting with us today. She will be part of our chat presentation, so we've got so much to talk to you about. Okay, Larry, you're first.
President Jean, I'm Larry Sloan of Larry Sloan Sales Company, retired. And my guest today is my fiance and my life partner, Ellen Cohen.
President Jean, I'm Louis Seeger with Citizens Union Bank, a mortgage lender for soon to be German American Bank. My guest today is Jacob McGill with Burn Insurance Group. He's a business advisor.
Welcome, guests. If you would like to learn more about our club, please stay after the meeting for a brief What is Rotary session with that gentleman over here about to stand, Craig Sherman. Craig Sherman, wave your hand. See him if you want information about our club. All right, now it is time for a little Cajun culture. Do you know the difference? Who knows the difference between Creole and Cajun cuisine? Anybody want to take a shot at it? Tom Crimmins, where are you? Oh, no. Go ahead.
I'm Cassie. Cajun has roots in French Canadian and Creole and it's Caribbean.
Wow, very close. That's very close. That's it. It's true. Creole cuisine is refers to the descendants of aristocratic French, Spanish, some German settlers, and the food has the European, French, Spanish, Native American, West Indian, and African influences. Cajuns are descendants from Nova Scotia, from that part of Canada called Acadia, and they were exiled by the English in 1755, made their way to Louisiana, settling in the swamps and bayous. Okay, that's Cajun cuisine. Very little influence in the classic cuisine of Europe. So there you go. There's the difference. By the way, I can fix both. So you come to my house for dinner and have both or either. All right, and now we have just such a wonderful event for you. I want to first introduce our speaker feature, and this is going to work by Shawn. Bierdz is going to speak and tell us all about the American Queen Steamboat Company, and then we're going to have a chat with our district governor and Ward Wilson with Kentucky Waterways Alliance, and we're going to talk about our partnership with this wonderful program. Shawn Bierdz is president of the American Queen Steamboat Company and Victory Cruise Lines, owner and operator of U.S. river and small ship cruise lines based right across the river in New Albany, Indiana. Both part of the Hornblower Group. Bierdz leads the company overseeing all aspects of the operation, including its growth and expansion, including 2 expedition vessels additions to the fleet by 2023. A longtime executive with HMS Global Maritime Inc. since 2013, Shawn has served as Chief Financial Officer of the holding company, which included the American Queen Steamboat Company, HMS Ferries, Seaward Services, and HMS Consulting. And he is a veteran of the United States Army, serving during the Gulf War. He holds a Bachelor of Business Administration from the University of Memphis. Shawn, welcome.
So thank you for inviting me to the Rotary. I'm happy to be here. And Gene West, thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak in front of you guys. I've been with the company 8 years, and over that time period, we know our guests. Our guests are older guests. They're givers, philanthropists. They have a willing to give. And we have a lot of different types of cruises that we provide. Some of them are, we have a Creole cruise, actually. We have a cuisine cruise. We have a music cruise. We have American Heart cruises. So we wanted to do something different. We wanted to have a community outreach cruise. So we've done that, and we worked with and partnered with the Rotary Club to make that happen. And the cruise actually will leave this Monday from Louisville. We'll talk a little bit more about it. But it'll be on American Dutchess. So for those who don't really know kind of what we do, we have 4 big paddle wheel boats that go on the Ohio, Mississippi. And I'm going to show you a quick video. I'm going to show off the American Dutchess. This will be the vessel that will be departing on Monday. So we have a video. Do I push the button and you guys push it?
I can push it for you.
All right. And it does have, it's supposed to have some really swanky music, but it doesn't. It's going to be silent music. It's a simple video. But this is the American Dutchess. It's our smallest vessel of the fleet. It has 166 guests. 60 crew, probably 1 crew for every 2 guests. It's very boutique in nature. It's an all-suites vessel, which is very unique for us. It has the largest cabins on the river, and it actually has a loft suite, which you're seeing here. It's a double 2-floor cabin with a 20-foot window looking out on the river. So I don't think anybody else in the entire river cruise business has a loft suite, but this vessel does. We have a couple of different venues. That's actually Lee Greenwood. We have him on board, probably the American. He does that song. He's on our vessel probably 3 or 4 times a year to do the music things. So it doesn't look the same from the outside as it does from the inside, but I wanted you guys to kind of get an idea of what kind of product that we deliver for our guests. The next slide is tree planting. So part of this program, that when we partner with the Rotary, is we're going to plant a tree at each one of these stops. I'll talk a little bit more about each one of the stops. I'm going to stop at 8 stops over the next 7 to 8 days. And we're going to plant a tree. It's going to have the friendship tree, and it's going to be embroidered with, or it'll be embossed with the Rotary Mark of Excellence and the American Queen. So we'll do this at each one of these locations. It's really just to kind of foster our friendship and our partnership with the Rotary. Hopefully we can continue to do this in the future, where we have people that come on and want to do community service, and our guests can be involved in that and have a different kind of vacation. Not only can they see things, but they can interact with communities and provide services. This is the voyage. I won't go through all of this, but it's really Louisville to St. Louis. We have Alton at the end. It's a fancy word for the city across the river from St. Louis. But it's St. Louis. We're going to do a couple things here. Most of this project will be environmental. We're going to do a lot of environmental studies and impact for the river along the way. One day we'll be working with students, kind of testing water. The next day we'll be working with people planting wildflowers. So there's a theme each and every day throughout the cruise. So some of you will be on that cruise. So we have some very special guests that will be on there. Dr. Berniki will be on board. He will be your project coordinator. Gail will be on board as the ambassador for Rotary International. And then Ms. Dickerson. I haven't seen her, but she's going to be one of our major liaisons between the Rotary, the guests, and our crew. So we're very excited to have members of the Rotary on the cruise on Monday. Thank you for that. I'll talk a little bit about the company. As mentioned, we're actually across the river. Nobody really knows that. We've been here for 10 years. Actually, we've been here 20 years, but 10 years in the capacity of a riverboat company. We hire 60 people across the river. We're in downtown New Albany, and there's no signage. We actually squirrel away in 3 different buildings every morning and every night we come out. But it's kind of shocking. I've lived there for 4 years, and I shop at Tim. There have been no there's Tim's in the store. And one day the guy asked me after 4 years, what do you do? And I'm like, well, I work for a cruise company. He's like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, no, it's right across the street. And nobody knows it, but it's a very small company. We hire 640 folks nationwide. We have 4 riverboats, and we have 4 other boats. I'll kind of move along. We have the Queen. Most of you guys have seen the Queen. It's a very large boat. It's a football field. A floating football field. It's 420 feet long, and it's 100 feet wide. 6 stories tall. It's a very unique vessel. It's the largest steamboat in the world. We have the American Duchess, which I just introduced, the American Countess, which we just christened in March, brand new vessel for us. And it's a converted casino boat. What we did with it inside is amazing. And then American Empress, which is the last one on the bottom here, that's in our Pacific Northwest. Think of the Columbia River, Oregon, and state of Washington. So diverse product there. I mentioned our guests. Our guests are givers, and that's kind of why we want to do this community outreach program. But our guests are also active learners. Most of them come on board and they come away blown away with what they can learn along the river. And it's a lot of Americana for us. You go to these small towns, and I'll talk about one later, and you'll be surprised at what's in these small towns and what you can actually produce from most of our river cruises are in the heartland, which we would refer to as Mississippi, all the way from St. Paul all the way to New Orleans. The lower Mississippi is probably our primary voyage. We probably do about 70 a year. Memphis, New Orleans, Memphis, back and forth, back and forth. There's a lot of rich culture when you think about lower Mississippi with music, food, history. There's a rich history in the Delta, and we're able to give our guests this type of experience. Surprisingly, we get a lot of guests from Australia, New Zealand, and Britain. It would be like us going to the Nile or one of the major rivers around the world, but they're blown away by the intimacy. One of our voyages, we stopped in Natchez, Mississippi, and we were at a plantation home, and we have an executive chef that lives there. She teaches biscuits. I make a country biscuit. It sounds ridiculous, but it sells out, and it's all the men. No women go. Men want to know how to make a biscuit. But I was standing down on the front porch with this gentleman, and he was just like, "Oh," he was just standing there, and I'm like, "Hey, how are you doing? Are you having a good time?" He's like, "Yeah." And I immediately saw he's from Australia, and and it was. I take it for advantage that I've been in the Mississippi Delta most of my life, but he never has, and he was trying to explain it to me. He was like, this would be like you spending the day with an Aborigines in Australia out in the Outback. He said, this is how intimate it is for me to be in this house, bringing out the biscuits in this small river town. So there's some real richness in the product that people kind of overlook. But The lower Mississippi is probably our biggest seller. We do the upper Mississippi, Minneapolis, St. Louis. This is a kind of a different product. This is more natural beauty, and this is more of Americana. Think of John Deere, go to the John Deere factory. Think of the Creole Cuisine. It's a different type of experience, but it's one of the more popular ones. And then we can do the tributaries. Most people don't know this, but we can take these vessels all the way to Pittsburgh. We can take them to Chicago. We can take them to Chattanooga, Nashville. So there's a real broad to these products. Each one of those have a different look and feel to them. American Queen, just some imagery. It's the largest steamboat in the world. It's actually a steamboat. It uses water from the Ohio and Mississippi River Falls, the paddle and the pins and arms. It has a replication. This actual theater over here is a replica of the Ford Theater in DC. It's got balconies. It's 2 stories. Huge. You wouldn't even know it was inside this vessel. And then you have J.M. White dining rooms. It's got 2-story ceilings. It's very big, and it's very opulent when you get inside. This is our owner suite here to the far left. The next vessel is the Duchess, which you've already seen, the lost suites. We have phenomenal, that's the studio for the Duchess. We saw the theater for the Queen. But we have Broadway entertainment. We go to Broadway, we do auditions, we hire them, we produce a show. Very high caliber entertainment. The Countess, this is the brand new one. This is one we just put into service in March. This is a phenomenal vessel. This is the one that is where we learned all of our mistakes. And this one, we fixed all of our mistakes. So we've had a couple times that we've done this and we've made mistakes over the years. But this one is really phenomenal vessel. It's one of my favorites now. It's brand new. Pacific Northwest, we talked about that. This is the American Empress. Same thing. We have a paddle white boat. Interior is very opulent. Showing there and on the Empress. So those are our river boats. There's 4 of them. I'm going to talk a little bit about shore excursions. So every part of your voyage here is you get free hop on, hop off. And we have 4 motor coaches that follow the vessels. And every morning you get up and go into the town, and I'll show you a slide. The buses rotate through the town, and you can get on and off wherever you want. And as a member of our vessel, you can get into anything free. So if you want to go to the museum, you can have an admission fee. You can walk in. We pick up the tab later, but you have freedom of movement. But this is how we engage with the local community economically. We have local guides. So there's a lot of good stuff here. I'll deviate a little bit. One of our most popular tours is Angola Prison. It's very moving, very touching. People come back very moved by the experience. So we will take you to Angola Prison. You'll spend a day with a member or someone that's on death row. And it's a different experience that people really don't expect, but it's very powerful and very intimate. So we continue to have these types of intimate excursions. This is Natchez, Mississippi. 15,000 people in it. Hernando de Soto came here in 1541. Got a lot of heritage, Natchez, because the Natchez Indians came here. But there's, as you can see, the bus goes all these routes, red routes. Wherever there's a star, there's an emission that it's free. And you can go on and off. We have 127 ports that we visit. We have 127 of these maps, and it's part of your onboarding. What I haven't talked about is the Victory Cruise Line. So in addition to the riverboats, we have 2 of these. Victory 1, and it has a sister ship, looks identical to Victory 2. These are our Great Lake vessels, and they're very special. To get into the Great Lakes, you can only have a beam of 78 feet for the locking system. So the big cruise ships can get in there. It's kind of restricted based on the width of the vessel. These 2 are especially built to get into the Great Lakes, and then you go out of the conflict. It's a very different product, but there's really nobody in this market right now. And if they are, they're only in there for a week or 2 and they come out. So this is Victory 1, Victory 2, it's part of the Victory Cruise Line. And we're moving into expedition. We mentioned that earlier. So we have a vessel called the Ocean Victory. I'll show you a picture of it. got X bow designs, completely different. I want to picture the bow, but the bow is inverted, and it's really to help stabilize the vessel. It's very, very modern expedition vessel. An expedition is very hot in the market. So we have two vessels, one in 22, and then we have another one coming in 2023. We're also partnering with Cal Poly out of California. They'll be doing onboard testing. So part of this experience with the Alaska product is you're actively engaging with science. Like you're going to go out and do samplings. There's an auditorium. We'll come back. We'll talk about the samples that we're testing, whatever it is. If it's water samples, algae, wildlife, whatever they're testing. We'll have several different people on board. They have different skills. That'll be lectured in the evening. So it's kind of an enrichment experience. And then the expedition side of it, we do have zodiacs and kayaks. The Alaska product is going to be unique because again, these are very small vessels. It only holds on 200 guests. And in doing so, we can get into these little inward waterways. And if you think about it, it's going to be kind of a river experience. You can have land on both sides of you for most of the journey. But this is going to be, not every cruise ship can do this, but every cruise ship can't get into these small areas. This is actually the Ocean Victory. This is an artist rendering. This was built in China. The steel was built in China. All the components were brought in. So the best propulsion systems were imported. The best navigation equipment was imported. So it's a different type of model here. We have two of these, the Ocean Victory and the Ocean Discovery. So you can see the platforms that pop out for the Zodiac. Actually, at the bow, there's a platform that collapses. You can walk out on board. So if there's whales or seals or anything out, you can actually just lean over the waterway. So it's a very unique vessel. We've got children very excited, brand new for us, different from others. But we're excited about introducing it to you. One of my last slides, but so we won this award. Very proud of this. We won it earlier this month, September 8th. We were awarded this award. So we're the highest rated U.S. river line in the U.S. And to put this in perspective, we're number 5. So we weren't number 1, but we're number 5. But Viking Cruises was number 3. So we're right on their heels. Might not be to number 1, but very excited that we're at least number 5 in the overall mix. So.
I'm just shocked. I've not been on a river cruise. So come on up to the table, District Governor Gail Story, Governor of District 6712, and Ward, our very own Rotary Ward Wilson, who is Executive Director of Kentucky Waterways Alliance. Be ready for your questions. How many of you have been on a river cruise? Yeah. All right. On any one of these boats? Yeah. Rick. Amazing, Shawn. It's surprising that you're also right across the river. So Gail is going to be one of the passengers on the ship, on the boat. So tell us how Rotary got involved in this initiative.
Okay, initially, during my district governor-elect year last year, I was approached by Jill Petriansky in another district who actually works through some organizations along the Mississippi River. And the American Queen Steamboat Company had approached her about a potential project for a community outreach service program along one of their voyages. And it just so happened to be that the cruise they chose had 5 ports in my district. I'm so proud. So she contacted me and asked me if District 6710 would be interested in doing a project. And I just so happened to know Dr. Bernie Stranicky, who has done this for a living. And I said, well, let me check and I'll get back with you. So I called Bernie and we became extremely excited. And we said, yes, we'll do this project. it has grown into something that is amazing and will be so meaningful to not only our district, but to our world and those ports for which we're going to be serving. We're hoping that this project will catch on and maybe have a future. We're going to have discussions in Alton about what we did, how it worked. Was it meaningful? Did the guests enjoy it? Is it something that our communities want to engage in again? This is the maiden voyage, and I'm so excited that it has happened this year. It's something that's really incredible. It's grown into something that's much bigger than any of us ever thought would happen. And I want to thank the American Steamboat, Queen Steamboat Company for bringing us along on this voyage. It's something very special.
And so as you saw during Shawn's presentation, at each stop along the cruise, each community is doing a service project. And you're probably wondering, why aren't we? It's because you're launching from here. And the guests on the boat are arriving on Sunday, correct? And they will go enjoy our ceremony that we will talk about a little bit later at the waterfront at the dock, get on the boat and leave. So there is really not an opportunity for the passengers to do a service project. Our service project is the Saturday before, which is the sprucing up of the Louisville knot. It is technically on the riverfront, kind of, sort of, but it is our sculpture that is to bridge the divide between East and West Louisville. And so we're going to highlight that actually on television at 2 o'clock with us as we explain that. However, the Rotary Club of Louisville decided to partner with Kentucky Waterways Alliance in helping and crafting a long-term service project as it concerns the river as a part of this project. And that's where we work from. Can you talk about it? Tell us about the MOU that we have with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That was amazing. I had no idea you all did so much. I'm sure you hear that all the time. So yeah, Kentucky Waterways Alliance is a statewide group. We have over 400 members all across the state, but we're based here in Louisville. And I was really pleased to come back. I was a member of this club about 20 years ago and just got busy and drifted away, but I had joined last year the Passport Club. So I'm a Rotarian too. And I know the power of Rotary. I know people are dedicated and want to do service. And I look at it like, oh, we need to reach people and tell our story. Our mission is to protect, restore, and celebrate the waterways of Kentucky. We added celebrate to our mission a few years ago because it's not all doom and gloom. There's a lot of good to tell about water, and we all love water. Yeah, I know everybody here loves waterways. That's why this river house is here. But I'll tell you, if that river was like it was 50 or 60 years ago, we wouldn't be here because it was off. And this company wouldn't have a business going up and down the river dodging barrels and oil slicks. So we, years ago, when the rivers were on fire, the country rallied together and we stopped a lot of things. A lot of waste was going straight to the river untreated. Well, by and large, everything's being treated now, but that didn't totally fix the problem. There's still pollutant sources that are more diffused, and it's all of us doing it, from our cars to our lawns to everything else. And so the good thing though is we can all be part of the solution. So there's something we can all do. There are little things we can do, like plant a rain garden in your yard or just pick up trash. But there are big things, and when we talked about our MOU, I said, I'll give you a menu and we can order off the menu. There's some big ideas. We have Congressman Brown has offered to help us do a large trash collection demonstration. Something big, something that will show people how much trash is getting in there. And we want to also work on the sources of the trash. But we can do cleanups on the Saturday morning as well. So there's a lot of things we can do. I'm looking forward to working with you all. I'll be going down the river, not on the boat, but on land and meeting the boat because we're a statewide organization. So it's been hard to reach Western Kentucky, and this is the way I'm going to be able to make more connections.
So this comes right as Rotary International's new focus is on the environment and cleaning up the waterways. Is that one of the reasons you got involved? Can you talk about that a little bit, Shawn?
Yeah, obviously, we're very conscious about the water. We try to be green. We do a lot of things on board for environmental folks. So the water is always important for us for all reasons that provide our means of commerce. So just for we are doing some water stuff, water testing. We're actually going to test our water on board versus the water shore to prove that we maintain very high standards of water. Water filtration on board. So it's just part of the water.
Rotarians, you have questions, please. Make your way to the mic. That's questions for us. I'm wondering how many of your passengers will be Rotarians besides our featured guests?
It's a good question. I know Ruth is on our side. She works for us. She's been putting this entire thing together. She's not here today, but I don't have that answer. I know there are, but I don't know.
I want to now introduce Dr. Bierdz. Hello. Hi, welcome. And this, you're kind of directing the project. I would like for you to make your way to the mic too, because I've got some questions for you. But then Tom, go ahead.
Hello, my name is Tom Crimmins. My question is for Shawn. You mentioned that you used former gambling casino boats for the poultry ships, I guess. And I just wondered if you're using the one that was formerly at Caesars in Indiana.
We do use formerly casino boats, and there's a reason for that. To operate on U.S. waterways, you have to be doing that compliant. It's too technical here, but part of that is U.S. made. You have to have a U.S. made vessel, you have to have a U.S. owned, and you have to have a U.S. crew. That's why you don't see Carnival cruises or any of those major cruise lines on the U.S. river. They can't do it because they have foreign boats and foreign crew. So we do take casino boats. This one was the old, the Dutchess was the old Gainesville. It was a casino boat. I don't know if it was one up the river. I know that we did that one up there. We actually visited it, but that's not one we purchased. But both the Dutchess and the Countess are Cutter River. And that's why they're so broad. If you look at them, they're very, very wide. They're built for us.
Bernie, can you talk about the project? Like, how did this all come together and how you worked with the other Rotary clubs along the river?
Yeah, I'm an academic by profession, and I have spent much of my career abroad. So I have worked in the discipline called shipboard education, and that's what this is, at the University of Virginia. So that's what I'm doing. Here's the model that we are putting together. Is it possible for Rotary, us Rotarians, to work with the communities in which we live and serve, take the academic side of it, and that has to do with in Western Kentucky University, which has a large program in water and water quality, and put it together with a method, with a ship. And as we go down the river, we're going to do demonstration projects. And the demonstration project will show, yes, we can do it. From a very, very small club, like Brandenburg, with 12 members, that's all they have, 12 Rotarians, and they will begin to do a project. How do you do that? From you, which is our mega program, down to Henderson, where we have 100 members. Can we do that? So the idea is not to save the river, but to show that we can work together. And the culminating activity, when we're all done, when we're all finished, and we've done our course, we'll come to Alton, and there will be a Rotary round table. And this is what's going to happen at the Rotary round table. We have invited people who are stakeholders. And we're even going to have United Nations Association. Part of my work has always been with the UN and in New York. So I have those folks on. We did have our friends here who I'm talking about what they do, but other stakeholders from the Sierra Club, how do they take a look? And up and down Mississippi, there is a group of mayors, and the mayors are very, very interested in this project. So this is a demonstration project with the Rotary in its community, working with the academic community and putting it on a vessel. And putting it on a vessel is really interesting because that's way too sexy to do anything with, and they make it happen. So that's a little bit about the program. I'm a big shipboard education person. And I'll just give you one last piece that goes with this. I've worked a lot with the Chinese. They have, as they do for everything else, for a long time, we thought about vessels as moving people and moving products around the world. But there's a product that they move that people have not thought about, and that I am very interested in. You know what? Vessels have been the mover of ideas. That's what they do. They move product, they move ideas. And we're going to be very happy to work with this particular vessel and moving this idea up and down the river. So that's the story.
All right, Mary, thank you. I'll be joining you in Alton, even if it's via Zoom. So the big question when this project came up, Shawn, was from our Rotarians was, how do we get on this boat? Are you so how does one find out about your cruises and the fares and availability, accommodations?
We have a website, Steamboat company. We're actually rebranding next week. Most of the marketing people that will put this slide presentation together are working on a rebranding, so we're going to come out next week, 28th. And it kind of didn't make sense if you thought about American Cuisine and the district product lines. It didn't really look or feel the same. We're going to put them all under one umbrella. So it's going to be American Cuisine voyages.com going forward. If you go to that website, you can see all of these vessels. The pricing's there. You can call. We have tons of different options. Different time periods, different cabins, different boats.
All right, thank you all so much. Please, a round of applause. This is very exciting. Because this is all of our project. So thank you, Shawn and Ward. We will have you for that 2 seat, and Gail, you stay here. Now, for a very special presentation by our Rotary District Governor Gail Story, Larry Sloan, will you and Helen please join us on the stage.
Very more than this gift, but this one's very special to me because Larry Sloan is very special to me. I've had the opportunity to work with him on more than one occasion, and he's just phenomenal. So here we go. If you'll bear with me, I do have to put my glasses on. And thank you. So in appreciation for the many ways in which Larry exemplifies Rotary's motto of service above self. And on behalf of the women and men of Rotary International, Rotary District 6710, and the Rotary Club of Louisville, it is my honor and pleasure to recognize you, Larry Sloan, as a Rotary Foundation major donor. Your generosity has reached new heights, and for that, we thank you and celebrate you. On behalf of Rotary District 6710 and the Rotary Foundation, it is my pleasure as your district governor to present to you this beautiful crystal this beautiful crystal piece and 2 matching pins. These are emblems of Rotary Foundation Major Donor. We urge you to wear these pins, your Foundation Major Donor pin, as a symbol of our appreciation for you and for your service above self. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating and welcoming our new major donor, Larry Sloan. This actually occurred in 2020-21. So Joanne Pepperman has asked me to come bearing gifts for Larry. They have actually framed your major donor certificate. So here you go from Joanne Pepperman. You're so welcome. I will do that. And once again, congratulations. Congratulations on that. It was beautiful and wonderful. Now I'm going off agenda a little bit, and I'm not sure that your president, Gene West, knows about. But I do come bearing gifts from Joanne Pepperman because guess what? Louisville is an award-winning club. And boy, am I happy to be here with you today. And I'm honored to bring the awards that you won during 2021. So I'm going to ask the immediate past president, Julie Schmidt, to come forward. And then we're going to be asking some other members of the club to come forward to recognize your hard work as Rotarians. And I love you, and I thank you, and I celebrate you today. So first up is going to be Michael Poole. Will you come forward, please? So, and I'm loud. So Michael and Julie, they actually worked hard last year, and you became a star club again. So congratulations. Somebody's already taking pictures, and I need stuff. So now I'm going to flash you all over District 710. So here you go, Michael and Julie. Congratulations. 2020-21 Star Club. Thank you. I'm not sure who membership here was last year. Anyone here with membership? Is Jay Mallory? Right? Okay, Julie. In 2020, 2021, you guys won in your division the 2021 Attraction Challenge for me. You are so welcome. We have Best New Service Project. Community Impact Committee examines diversity, equity, and inclusion. Let it. Luke Schmidt, come forward, please. This is like such fun going on, right? Here you go. Thank you so much for all your hard work on this, and I know we're continuing that in 2021-22. Thank you for your leadership. We appreciate you. I think it's Denise Meyer that's going to come up for this primary school water supply international. It's the best ongoing international service project with Life Mercy Academy Primary School Water Supply and Sanitation Award to Louisville Rotary Club. How about that? Thank you so much, and for all of the others that worked on it. Yes, and I'm accepting this on behalf of Dr. Bob Silver and Chris. And this one is truly, truly special. And I find it to be absolutely true and correct. You know, we always talk about, is it the truth? And this one is the truth. I am so proud to award for 2020-2021 Louisville Rotary Club, the Club of Distinction in your category, in your division. Thank you so much. You have earned it. You deserve it. Thank you. Here you go. There you go. Now, that was a lot, and I'm finished. Thank you. Thank you. I love you guys.
Thank you, Gail. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Please come visit more than once a year. Okay, good. Okay, and now I'd like to go back to the podium. Oh, first, the big board over there, names, NIA, Rotarians, don't forget to grab a name and call them. Now I'd like to invite Brett Corbin, Financial Advisor, Corbin Financial Group, Raymond James, to the podium for today's announcement.
Thank you, Madam President. I'll give a little plug to the Upper Midwest cruise. Between being a financial advisor and being a financial journalist, which was my previous job, I helped crew the Nina and the Pinta, the replica ships, from Mobile all the way up to Minnesota. And the Upper Midwest was just fantastic. Iowa, it's not flat at all on the river, it's beautiful. So, and then you end up in Minnesota in the summer, it's just gorgeous. So I highly recommend that trip. But pay for it, don't get paid to do it. All right, Saturday, September 25th at 9:30 is the day for the service project at 9th and Main Street to give this Louisville landmark a quick wash and a wipe down. 600-gallon truck will be there. All the cleaning supplies are provided. We hope you'll join us. The link to register is in your Sparks newsletter, and that's under the registration event tab. And 12 noon on the same day, this Saturday, correct? Make plans to join other Rotarians for the ice cream social. Kevin Fields has provided the party location at Louisville Central Community Center. $13 per person, and you can register with the links again in the Sparks newsletter through the event registration. Also, make plans to join other Rotarians at the Great Steamboat launch ceremony on Monday. President Jean will open the celebration ceremony, followed by the district governor, Ms. Gail Story, Secretary of Tourism Mike Berry, along with Ward Wilson of Kentucky Waterways and Shawn Bierdz, President and Chief Operating Officer of American Queen Steamboat Company, to provide proclamations and acknowledgements as we help kick off this effort to promote saving our rivers. And there will be live music provided by Studio Code 502 band. Next week's meeting on September 30th, the guest speaker will be Dee Tron, a serial entrepreneur, computer engineer, mentor, and Vietnamese immigrant. His topic will be USA #1 country on earth through the lens of first generation Vietnamese. Dee Tron, real example shared. And I told Dee that the Louisville Institute of Technology is lit. So if you know any kids, it's going to be lit. Rotary Golf Day is back with a new lower price and better format. So make your plans for October 11th, Columbus Day at the Glen Oaks Country Club. For $50, you receive a buffet lunch, includes one drink around the golf with a cart. Prizes will be awarded. We have a male and female division for longest drive, longest putt, close to the pin, and a few other surprises. You can sign up individually in pairs, threesomes or foursomes. Registration requires a $15 deposit before October 4th, and contact the Rotary office for that. Also, a special Kentucky honor flight is scheduled for October 20th. This is the first and perhaps only 2021 honor flight for Kentucky and Southern Indiana veterans of World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. Please make plans to volunteer and assist this special group. If you've never done it before, it's very moving and emotional. I highly recommend it. They're going to visit Washington, D.C. and visit various war memorials and Arlington Cemetery. It also includes lunch and meetings with several elected officials. They will return to Louisville later in the day between 9 and 10. It'll be a memorable day for these veterans, and I hope you'll plan to join them and cheer them upon their return. Every veteran deserves our gratitude and thanks for their service, and your presence there will mean so much to them. We appreciate you registering for your meeting attendance a week in advance. Please use the link on the QR code on your table, and you'll get an email before you leave today. Please note that registrations and reservations close at 4 p.m. tomorrow. This is the deadline the restaurant requires, so please respond with your intentions by tomorrow. And the meeting, of course, is also available on Zoom. And now it's time to wish a happy birthday to one and only one Rotarian celebrating his birthday this week, Mr. Willie Oden. Is Willie here? No? Yes, exactly. All right, back to you, Madam President.
All right, Rotary Club of Louisville, this is our time to shine. Don't forget, Saturday, the cleanup of the Louisville Knot. Ward Wilson has graciously offered us a huge water tank there's going to be plantings and just all kinds of stuff. And then Monday is the big day. Now, we are going to need some stage hands, if you will, to help Tom Cribbins set up and move chairs. So can you please check with Tom so that on Monday we need some stage hands to show up and help set things up for the celebration on Monday, okay? Also, we're booking out of here right now to head over to Wave 3 to be on at 2 o'clock. Gail, Ward, and I. Shawn's got another appointment. But, go downstairs, have a cup of coffee, make the bartender turn on Wave and do a watch party. Because we're coming back and probably raise a toast. Anyway, get excited about this weekend. Thank you all for coming. Thank you to our guests. Please come back. This meeting is adjourned.